What is good, YouTube? I'm back, and I thought I would do a short follow-up video to the video I made about the Scuf versus the PlayStation Edge controller, which is due to be released in January. But I thought I'll talk about why I have officially ordered this controller, and I am happy to have done this, and why I'm actually gonna purchase it. I think that the luxury controller market isn't designed for the mainstream audience. It's a great product at a good price point, but just for debate and fairness, let's value it. And this is where I break down the value for money, or the value you're getting out of a purchase of the PlayStation Edge DualSense controller. So I tried to make this valuation breakdown as accurate and as close to a fair breakdown of the controller, from it being made to it being sold, as I could. So the standard controller retail price is £60, right? So £60. I think for value you are getting some good value. The back buttons, based on PlayStation's own pricing, is actually priced at 20. Yeah, this is how much they retailed the PlayStation back button, but I'm gonna put the pricing for the DualSense as 30 instead of 20, because this one's built into the controller. This is something that you attach to the controller, right? Non-slip comfort grips, that's something that a lot of people have not noticed. That this controller has non-slip comfort grips, as you can see here. Signature comfort slip resistant inner grips. Enjoy the same signature comfort of the original DualSense wireless controller, now enhanced with a slip resistant inner grips. Ideal for long sessions in single player games and staying comfortable during intense competitive play. For these grips, I've just valued them at 15. So we're at £105. Then there's the stick module for DualSense Edge, which is, where is it? Which is basically these, where you can actually take them out of the controller, as you can see here, right? Oops. As you can see here, you can actually take them out of the controller. That's almost invaluable, because you will never need to worry about stick drift. But I didn't put a value on that, so keep that in mind. I didn't put a price on that, because when you get the controller, you get these anyway. But to replace them, it is £20 for one. But I haven't put a value on that. So far, it's just the standard controller, which is 60. The back buttons, which we just saw, valued at 30. So that's 90. Non-slip comfort grip, 15. That's 105. The carrier case, which is this here, I valued this at 20. Why have I valued it at 20? Because this carrier case, you can actually charge your controller. Looking at this picture, you can actually see the details of the this picture makes the controller look so sick. The buttons, the triangle, square, the PlayStation buttons, basically, it just looks so sick. Scuf, for the Scuf controller, have a carrier case, and they value it at 15. This is a universal case, keeps your Scuf controller safe and protected. Fits all Scuf controllers, and this is the case. That is it, right? And they value this at 15. I valued the PlayStation case. I valued the PlayStation case at 20, which I think is very fair, because the PlayStation case should actually be worth, I think it could be worth 25, but just to make life easy, we're valuing it at 20. That is the carrier case, which you can, compared to that Scuf one we just saw, by the way. And look, you can charge your controller whilst it's in the case, right? So that's valued at 20. So we're at £125 thus far for this controller. It's more detailed, way more as well, yeah, the carrier case. The Scuf one is just, to be fair, it's just a box standard case. It carries the controller in the case as it's meant to, and it's portable. This case is quite portable as well. So I think the carrier case would only come in handy when, you know, you're going over to your friend's house and you're going to run some tournaments, like in, I don't know, games such as FIFA or any fighting game like MK or Street Fighter. Maybe if you did Spec Ops on COD, but more so the carrier case will be more so almost like an ornament. You just put your controller in after game sessions, really. But I valued that at 20. So where we at now? The controller 60, back buttons 30, non-slip grips 15, 105, carrier case 20, 125, adaptive adjustable triggers. Let's see that again. So these triggers, look at that. They just sell it so sick. These triggers, I valued them at £50. And whilst we're here, we're gonna go here as well, right? You get a USB branded cable, which has a function where you can lock it into place, right? So just keep that in mind, because I valued that as well. And you get these triggers. Now, this is why I valued that. The triggers at 50. The branded lockable wire at 15. And the changeable stick caps at 10. Altogether, that's £200. A lot of people are complaining about how, oh, it's too much money. It's too much money. But when you break it down, like I just done right now, how is it too much money? How can you not expect it to be this price? Because let's go to Scuf. I would probably value the charge at like 15. Yeah, because how much is an Apple charger? An Apple charger, and I'm just talking about the wire, they'll charge you £20 for that, or 10. So I'm being fair. It's actually 25, in fact. There you go. So I'm being fair with my valuation of I did the charger wire at 15 with the plug. Exactly. With the plug, it's like 30 quid. Now, this is very important. So as I said, I valued the triggers at 50, the branded wire at 15, because I'm comparing that to the Apple pricing. And this is a premium, a luxury product. This Reflex Pro is £220. This is the box standard one. Sorry, it's not. Sorry. 180 is the box standard Reflex. This is the standard one. Let's go to the compare models to make this easier, right? So I've valued the triggers on the PlayStation Edge controller at 50 as a whole. That's 25 for each adaptive trigger type controller, as we saw in that video. So to construct this controller, we're talking about a standard PlayStation controller for 60. The back buttons, as we already saw, for 30. That's 90. Non-slip grips, you can find them on Amazon or anywhere. I just priced them at 15. Because as you can see here, the Reflex at 200 actually. If you want the grips, you've got to pay 20, because it goes like this: Reflex Pro FPS. High performance grips, you don't get that with this 200 quid. You get that with 220 high performance grip. I valued the grips on the PlayStation one at 15. So that's even being fair. Like, very fair. So let's total this then. So 60 for the controller, 30 for the back buttons, £15 for the non-slip grip, carrier case 20, the adjustable triggers 50, which is 25 each, £10 for the caps, for the sticks, and £15 for the wire. That is £200. Now, the reason I did the triggers at 50 is because if you get this Scuf Reflex for 250, right, you get the instant triggers and bumpers. You don't get that with anything except the FPS. However, the downside to having that is you don't get adaptive triggers. So you're paying $250, but you're not getting adaptive triggers and you're not getting vibration modules. Personally, for me, I want the adaptive triggers and vibration and whatnot, right? So what did Sony PlayStation go and do? Let's go back to the original. PlayStation did is they gave you both the vibration, adaptive triggers, and the instant triggers. Now, you're not going to get instant from this, but what you will get is fast triggers. That's as good as instant. As you can see from this diagram here. So they're giving you the vibration and the adaptive triggers because they have to, because it's a part of their brand. It's a part of the controller for the PlayStation 5. You can't have the controller without those special functions. So they've given you that, but they've also given you fast triggers or instant triggers, however you want to call it. Adjustable trigger lengths. Manually set the travel distance of your left and right triggers for an optimal experience with whatever you're playing. So I've priced this to make this at 25 each. For them to do this, it costs £25 each side. That's a total of £200. But they're pricing this at 210. So they've overpriced it because they're a business. They need to make money. As well, if you game a lot, it's definitely worth it. Exactly. If you're an avid gamer, this is like a no-brainer. No, I take that back. If there was more colors, it's a no-brainer. But if you like this color scheme, which I do, it's a no-brainer. If you can afford it, or it's your birthday coming up or something. I mean, Christmas is coming, so they probably expecting sales to happen going into Christmas. The pre-orders of it, as you can see here, January 26th. £200. But if we go back into that pricing structure, £60 for a standard controller. As soon as you start bumping it up, like, let's just say £50 on top of the 60, that makes it 110. People will be in an uproar already. So the pricing is not even an issue whatsoever with this, because they've priced it very well. When you break it down, it all makes sense. You can't make it cheaper than this. 25 for this, £10 for these little let's go down here. £10 for this, 25 for these triggers, instant. What did I do this at? £20 for the case, £15 for the wire, which includes this. The back buttons, 30. The controller, 60. No one can argue with that, really. Well, you probably could, because I don't know, you just want an unrealistic deal. But if you're being realistic, you can't argue with this. So I've already pre-ordered this, and the reason I'm pre-ordering it is for that very reason. You're getting good value for money. I game quite consistently when there's games out that I want to play. Like God of War's coming, so I'm going to be playing that. Continue playing Call of Duty. The Game Awards is coming, so I'm hoping for certain announcements to come from that. Resident Evil 4's coming in. Callisto Protocol. Dead Space. Street Fighter 6. Like, all of these games are games that I'm going to be playing, like, consistently, especially on the channels, right? So this all makes sense for me, because, you know, I'm going to make some content. I'll definitely do a review of the controller, as to how it actually feels. And throughout my whole life, I've never had a Pro controller before, so this will be my first one. And yeah, I wish I had different colors. That's one downside for me. Yeah, I think if they had this with like 3 other colors with it, that would be brilliant. But it's whatever. Because when you compare this controller to the standard controller, the color scheme is totally different. The buttons are white, D-pad's white, the touchpad is white, right? If you look at it here, touchpad's black. The faceplate here is glossy black. Buttons are black. So that's... Oh, and it also has the pattern on the thing here. So that's just added, you know, luxury, I guess. But yeah, I've always wanted to have a controller that is a one thing that fits all type of thing. Like, you can change each profile to how you've set up the controller and whatnot. It's going to be awesome. So I will be doing reviews of this and the games I play on it. I still got a PS4 controller, still with the PS4. Yeah, that's another thing. Some people do still use the PS4. Fortunately, I really like the PlayStation 5 controller because it reminds me of the Mega Drive, Sega Mega Drive or Genesis controller. I like the handle of it. My hands are quite big, so this is a great fit for a controller. One other thing I forgot to mention with the Scufs controller, if you do pay for the £250 FPS reflex, the controller is lighter because they took out the vibration modules in order to do the the instant triggers. I would not like that. Personally, I would prefer the weight on the controller because when you add weight to things, it gives it more of a luxury feel. When things have weight to them, they tend to feel more premium. So there is that. But yeah, that's my reasons for why I have pre-ordered the controller. Can't wait to get it. I will be doing a series with this controller. How to play on the edge. God of War. How to play on the edge. Call of Duty. How to play on the edge. Street Fighter 6. Just basically a small series on how I'm actually using this controller with these other games and the benefit that I get from doing it. So leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section below. If you've pre-ordered the controller yourself, if you agree or disagree with the price breakdown, which I'll put in the description. And yeah, it just looks so sick. PlayStation 5 DualSense Edge controller. I think it's a great buy. We shall find out if it's a great purchase when it's released.